In the middle of royal duties and flashing cameras, there's one moment that feels refreshingly real. Princess Charlotte, with her bright smile and curious steps, walks up to an ice cream stand. What happens next isn't staged or rehearsed. It's simple, sweet, and genuine, and it's melting hearts around the world, one scoop at a time. A royal summer day. It was one of those golden summer days that felt like something out of a fairy tale. The sky was a perfect blue, with just a few fluffy clouds floating lazily above. The sun beamed down gently, lighting up every smile in the crowd. A soft breeze danced through the village, making pastel banners flutter and children's laughter echo through the streets. It was the kind of day where everything felt light and happy. The village square had come alive for the local charity fair. Colorful stalls lined the cobbled path, each one filled with handmade crafts, warm pastries, and cheerful volunteers. There were local musicians playing folk tunes in one corner while children chased bubbles and lined up for face painting in another. The smell of fresh bread, warm waffles, and sweet strawberries filled the air. It was the kind of event that brought everyone together, with joy buzzing in every direction. And right in the middle of this heartwarming scene was the royal family. It was a low-key appearance, the kind that feels more personal than official. There were no grand speeches or big media setups. Just Prince William, Duchess Kate, and their kids blending in like any other family enjoying the summer fun. But even in such a casual moment, they carried a quiet grace that made them stand out. Charlotte, full of energy and charm, wore a light floral dress that matched the sunny mood of the day. Her hair was braided neatly, with tiny ribbons peeking through, and her steps were playful as she skipped alongside her mum. Duchess Kate held her hand gently, smiling down at her as they strolled past the booths. Every now and then, Charlotte would stop to peek at something: painted rocks, jars of honey, a wooden toy train, her eyes wide with curiosity. Though there were plenty of royal admirers in the crowd, the mood remained relaxed. People waved politely. Some snapped quick photos, but mostly they let the family enjoy the day like everyone else. And it was during the sweet moment of calm that Charlotte spotted something that made her face light up: a small ice cream stand near the end of the row. The setup was simple: a little cart with pastel signs, a menu board with hand-drawn pictures of cones, sprinkles, and scoops. It may as well have been a castle made of treats. What happened next would become the highlight of the day for the royals and everyone watching. Little did anyone know, this simple moment would teach the world something beautiful about growing up royal. Charlotte was about to show everyone what real kindness looks like. A glimpse of normal childhood. Seeing royal kids act like regular children doesn't happen often. Most of the time, they are at big events, standing straight, dressed up, and waving politely. But once in a while, someone captures a real moment. A small moment that feels warm and honest. That's what happened on this sunny day. Princess Charlotte walked over to an ice cream cart like any excited child. She smiled, looked around, and waited in line without any fuss. Prince William and Princess Kate have always wanted their children to enjoy a simple and happy childhood. They want them to feel normal, even though their lives are very different. At home, Charlotte bakes cookies with her mum. She plays with her brothers, rides ponies, and helps take care of the family dog. They spend time outdoors, enjoy movie nights, and visit the park when they can. These little things help them stay close as a family. This sweet ice cream moment didn't happen at a press event. There were no reporters around, no crowds of fans. The family had gone to a small village fair. It was a warm summer day with music, food stalls, and laughter all around. A few people noticed them, but most were just enjoying the fair. One person nearby had their phone out and caught this moment on camera. It was natural and calm. There were no bodyguards pushing anyone back, or special signs pointing out the royal family. Charlotte wore a light floral dress. Her hair was tied into neat braids. She walked beside her mum with a little skip in her step. The way she moved showed how comfortable and happy she was. Nothing about her looked staged or planned. It was a real family moment, the kind people rarely see. What makes this so special is how normal it felt. There was no spotlight, no speech, no ceremony. Just a young girl with a big smile looking forward to a cold treat on a sunny day. These little glimpses into the royal family's private life remind everyone that they share the same joys and moments as other families. Charlotte and her brothers are growing up with love, kindness, and fun. They are learning how to enjoy simple things. A scoop of ice cream, a walk in the park, or baking at home can bring so much happiness. This moment may have been small, but it left a big impression. It showed the world something soft and kind, a real piece of childhood on a royal summer day. But the magic was just beginning. What Charlotte did next would surprise everyone and remind us why small acts of kindness can change everything. The ice cream moment. The moment Princess Charlotte saw the ice cream stand, her whole face lit up, her eyes sparkled, and her steps got faster. She was excited. From across the field, she could see the bright colors of the cart and smell the sweet treats. The sun was shining, and kids were running around nearby. It felt like the perfect summer day. Charlotte gently pulled on her mom's hand. She looked up and asked if she could go get some ice cream. Her voice was soft and sweet. Duchess Kate looked down and smiled. She gave her a little nod, telling her to go ahead on her own. Charlotte nodded and started walking toward the cart. She looked happy and confident. Her light floral dress flowed with every step. Her braids bounced behind her. She held her small purse in one hand and walked like she knew where she was going. Even though people nearby noticed her, she didn't seem nervous. She looked focused on the ice cream. When she reached the cart, she stood on her tiptoes. The man inside looked down and gave a warm smile. He was surprised to see a royal child standing there. Charlotte looked up at him with her clear blue eyes and said, "One strawberry swirl, please?" Her voice was calm and clear. She didn't rush. She knew what she wanted. The vendor smiled even bigger. He looked like he was both happy and a little shocked, but he quickly got to work. He scooped a big swirl of bright pink ice cream into a cone and handed it to her. Charlotte smiled and said thank you in the sweetest voice. She turned around, holding the cone carefully. Her steps were slower now. She walked back toward her mom with a small smile on her face. She looked proud of herself. It was a small thing, but it showed how grown-up she was becoming. She'd walked over, ordered politely, and returned all by herself. People nearby whispered and smiled. Some even clapped a little, but Charlotte didn't look around. She was happy with her treat and happy to be with her family. This wasn't a big royal event. There were no photographers or speeches. It was just a normal day in the sun. A young girl got to enjoy a small moment on her own, and in that short walk to the cart and back, she gave everyone around her something sweet to remember. Then something happened that no one saw coming. What Charlotte did next showed the world what it really means to have a royal heart. The unexpected surprise. As Charlotte held her pink swirl cone and began walking back, something caught her eye. A little toddler nearby was standing close to the ice cream cart, sobbing quietly. His own cone had slipped from his hand and splattered on the ground. He looked heartbroken. Ice cream covered his tiny shoes, and he didn't know what to do. His mother bent down, trying to calm him, but the little boy just kept crying. Charlotte stopped walking. She looked at the child for a moment. Then, without saying a word to her mom or anyone else, she turned around. She walked up to the toddler and gently held out her own cone. The strawberry swirl she had looked forward to was now in her hand, ready to give away. She smiled softly and said, "Here, you can have mine." The child stopped crying for a second. He looked up at her with wide eyes. His mum gasped and gently helped him take the cone from Charlotte's hand. Charlotte looked up at the vendor and said, "It's okay, I'll wait for another one." The people standing nearby had seen the whole thing. They fell silent. A few gasped softly. Even the adults, who were busy with their own children, paused for a moment. Everyone felt something shift in the air. It was rare to see such kindness, especially from someone so young. The ice cream vendor leaned forward, clearly touched. He gave her a proud smile and said, "You'll get 2 scoops this time." He didn't take any money. Instead, he scooped a large swirl of strawberry and added a second scoop of vanilla on top. He handed it over with care, making sure it didn't topple. Charlotte's eyes lit up again. She held the new cone carefully and gave a small curtsy. She said, "Thank you very much," with a bright, gentle smile. Her voice was calm, like it always is, but this time there was a tiny sparkle of happiness in it. People nearby began to whisper again. Some smiled. Others nodded with quiet respect. No one shouted or clapped loudly. It was a peaceful moment, full of warmth. Charlotte walked back to her mum with the same grace as before. Her new cone was bigger, but her heart had grown even more. She had given away her treat without waiting to be told. No one asked her to help. She simply did what felt right. And just like that, a simple trip for ice cream turned into a memory people would never forget. The crowd had just seen something special. What started as a quiet moment at a village fair was about to touch hearts across the globe. The reactions. As Charlotte walked back with her mum, Duchess Kate leaned down and said something softly in her ear. Charlotte smiled and gave a small nod. Kate looked proud, and she gently placed a hand on her daughter's back. The love between them was clear. They didn't need to say much. It was a quiet moment, full of care. People around the ice cream stand were still talking. They had just seen something simple, but powerful. An elderly woman near the cart said, "You could see Diana in that little girl." Her voice was full of emotion. She held her hand over her heart as she spoke. Some people smiled. Others looked touched. A few wiped away happy tears. Near the crowd, a local mum had filmed the moment on her phone. She had her child with her, waiting in line for ice cream too. She hadn't planned to film anything, but when she saw what happened, she pressed record. That clip, later, became the talk of the internet. That same evening, she posted the short video online with a sweet message. "She's a real princess."
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding.
The video showed Charlotte giving her ice cream to the crying toddler. It also caught her little smile and the way she stood with grace and kindness. Soon, the clip spread everywhere. It moved from one phone to another, shared by people from all walks of life. Local news pages posted it, then larger ones picked it up too. It even made the headlines the next day. Millions saw the moment and felt something warm in their hearts. On social media, people couldn't stop talking about it. Many added kind words and posted their thoughts. The hashtags were everywhere. Princess Charlotte, kindness matters, royal heart. People shared how touched they felt watching it. Some said it made their day better. Others said they showed it to their kids. The story reached far beyond fans of the royal family. It didn't feel like a royal event. It felt like a real moment between children. A small girl helped another child without being asked. That act meant something. At schools, teachers shared the story with students. Some read it out loud. Some even played the clip. Kids learned from it. Parents talked about it at home too. Charlotte became someone many looked up to. Duchess Kate stood with her daughter for the rest of the event. They walked around and greeted others. But people kept thinking about what they had seen earlier. It was the kind of moment that stays with you. There were no big speeches or fancy words, no spotlight or long stories, just a simple act. One small cone given to someone who needed it more. That tiny moment of kindness made a huge impact. By the end of the day, people left with smiles. They felt lighter. One sweet act from a young girl had reminded them how much good still lives in the world. People began to whisper something else too. Her kindness reminded them of another beloved princess who once touched hearts around the world. Echoes of Princess Diana. Princess Diana was known around the world for her kind and gentle heart. She didn't live like a distant royal. She walked into hospitals, sat beside sick children, hugged people living with AIDS, and held the hands of those who were hurting. When others stayed back, she stepped forward. She visited places no one expected a princess to go. During her landmine campaign, she knelt down in war zones and comforted children who had lost so much. People didn't just respect her, they loved her. She made kindness feel powerful. That same spirit is now seen in Princess Charlotte. Even at such a young age, she shows signs of the same quiet strength. At the ice cream stand, she didn't act like someone above others. She saw a crying toddler and offered her own cone without being told to. That's not something you teach in one day. It comes from home, from watching, listening, and growing in an environment where kindness is valued more than status. Duchess Kate has taken the lessons Diana left behind and is passing them on to her daughter. Kate has always shown calm grace in public, but behind the scenes, she's also raising her children with empathy and care. She's making sure they understand that being royal is not about being first in line. It's about how you treat those beside you. Charlotte didn't try to be a hero. She simply chose to do the right thing in a small moment. That small moment echoed something much larger. It reminded people of Diana, the way Diana gave comfort without needing a camera in front of her, the way she made strangers feel seen. Kate's parenting shows a strong focus on heart over image. That's why people felt so moved by Charlotte's gesture. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't staged, it was natural, the kind of kindness that flows from someone raised to care. The world has changed a lot since Diana's time, but moments like these connect the past with the present. When Charlotte offered her ice cream cone to a child in need, she carried a piece of her grandmother's legacy with her. Not by copying her, but by continuing what she stood for. It's clear now that Charlotte is growing up with more than just royal lessons. She's growing with values. She's learning what matters most. And while she may still be young, she's already carrying herself with quiet strength. Someone in the crowd said, "The crown may be heavy, but Charlotte's heart is already strong enough to carry it." That line stayed with many because it felt true. She's not just walking in royal footsteps. She's creating her own path, one full of warmth, care, and a heart that remembers where she comes from. But this wasn't just any sweet moment between children. What makes a simple act of sharing so powerful that it captures the hearts of millions? More than just a cute moment. This moment at the ice cream shop looked simple on the outside, but it held something much deeper. It wasn't just about a treat on a hot day or a sweet photo to share. It was about the kind of person Princess Charlotte is growing up to be. The little girl in a summer dress and neat shoes didn't hesitate. She saw another child crying and offered what she had. That small act might have lasted only a few seconds, but its meaning reached far and wide. In a world full of noise, fast news, and people chasing attention, Charlotte stood still and did something kind. Without needing to be told, without needing to be seen. She didn't think about cameras or titles or how it would look. She just cared. And in that simple choice, she reminded people what matters most. Kindness is not about age. It's not about power. It's not about rank. It's about the heart. And hers shined through in that moment. So many people across the world watched the video and felt something stir inside them. Not because she's a princess, but because she acted like someone we all wish to be. Honest, gentle, brave in the smallest yet most powerful way. 9 years old. That's not very old to most people, but Charlotte carried herself like someone much wiser. She showed leadership without needing to speak. She showed empathy without needing praise. She showed grace without needing reward. This wasn't just a sweet moment between children. It was a quiet lesson in values, in what it means to be human. In a time when people often expect celebrities or royals to act distant, Charlotte did the opposite. She reached out, and that's what real connection looks like. Her family has clearly done something right. She's growing up surrounded by people who believe in showing care and respect, who teach by example, not by force. And Charlotte is watching, learning, becoming someone who brings light in small ways. When people say more than just a cute moment, they mean it. It reminded people of what the royal family can represent when it stays rooted in love and service. It showed that behind the titles and headlines, there's a little girl with a strong heart and good values. The world didn't stop because of ice cream. It paused because of the meaning behind it. That soft smile, that small hand, that quiet offer. It touched hearts across countries, ages, and backgrounds. Kindness always stands out, especially when it comes from someone who doesn't need to do it. That's why this moment will stay in people's memories, because it was more than charming. It was real. Charlotte may only be 9, but she reminded everyone that true royalty isn't worn. It's shown through care and the courage to do something good, even when nobody expects it. So what can we all learn from one little girl and her ice cream cone? The answer might just inspire you to look for your own chances to share sweetness with the world. Sometimes, the tiniest act of kindness melts more than just ice cream. It melts hearts. Princess Charlotte gave us a sweet reminder of that. If this moment touched you, hit like, leave a comment, and share it with someone who believes in kindness too. What would you have done in her place? Drop your favorite random act of kindness in the comments. We'd love to hear your story.